Well, hello guys, welcome back to another video, and it's, I guess, day one of this being an only YouTube video, and well, I don't know, I don't really care. So here I have with me today are 3 of my award winning banknotes, and I did not award these banknotes myself. I did not, like, just said like, hey, I'm gonna award you because you look beautiful or something. These are awarded by the IBNS, or the International Banknote Society, and just to tell you that they've been here, I believe, since 1961, I think. Hold on, I'm searching about them. Established 1961, and I always check the IBNS for any updates regarding the banknote of the year for this year, banknote of the year for this year. So I've heard about this banknote of the year ever since I started collecting banknotes, and when I heard that us, the Philippines, won banknote of the year 2022 for the 1,000 peso note, obviously I was delighted. So here we are. I'm just gonna lower my brightness here. Why is the volume so high? So here we are, winning the 2022. Okay, seeing the purple stuff there, but here we are. We won the 2022 banknote of the year. Okay, I think that's better. We won the 2022 banknote of the year award because we had the 1,000 peso note, and it was actually our first ever polymer banknote, and we were also nominated for 2024's banknote of the year award with our 500 peso note, but the one that got voted was this one. It was this $2 note from Bermuda. So this is the new $2 note, which is a polymer banknote, and it features King Charles III. And I gotta say, it actually looks beautiful, and I've actually put that in my want to collect list. So now we will just put this aside, and I actually don't have any information opened about these banknotes, but I do know what's the portraits within them. So yeah, because I've reviewed them like extensively. I've made videos about them continuously, so I know I quite know the information within them. So let's start off first with the banknote of the year award from 2015. This $5 New Zealand dollar note. So this was released in 2015, so obviously it won banknote of the year 2015. Okay. Oh, what? Okay, let's just go over the information. So over here on the front, we have Sir Edmund Hillary, who was a New Zealand mountaineer and was also a philanthropist, and he was also the first person to summit Mount Everest along with Tenzing Norgay. I'm just gonna adjust my microphone here. Okay, there you go. And over here to his left, I believe, to his left is Mount Cook, not the Mount Cook. It's Mount Cook, or it's called Aoraki. And I believe that this is the highest point in New Zealand, or the highest mountain in New Zealand. It's the highest mountain in New Zealand above sea level. And over here in the back is... Okay, so there's actually a bunch of stuff in here, but we're gonna go through them one by one. So over here is a hoiho, or a yellow-eyed penguin. Yes, there are penguins in New Zealand because it snows there. Over here are Campbell Island daisies, and this scene right there, this background right there, it's from Campbell Island in New Zealand. And over here, these are Ross lilies, which coincidentally are yellow like the eye of this hoiho. Now put this aside. Now we go on to the winner of the banknote of the year 2018, Canada, this 10 Canadian dollar banknote. So the front of the 10 Canadian dollar banknote features Viola Desmond, or Viola Desmond, sorry if I mispronounced the name. So she was a Canadian civil rights activist. The most notable thing she did was that she entered white-only cinema as a protest of like the racial segregation in Canada back then. She was dragged out of the cinema and she was arrested, and to this day she's still remembered for what she's done, for the bravery that she's done against the racial segregation in Canada. I don't remember what decade was it, but if there's any Canadians watching this, please tell me what decade was it. And she was also a black Canadian, if what I said earlier wasn't obvious enough. And over here is a map of Halifax in Nova Scotia, which is currently where my uncle lives, by the way. This is an aerial view of Nova Scotia. I mean Halifax. And over here in the back is the... what's this again? The Canadian Museum for Human Rights. I believe this is in Winnipeg. This museum right there. And the security feature here, this thing right here, is actually the roof of the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. And lastly, we have our banknote, our last banknote from Mexico, which is our, I guess, relative country. Well, it is our relative country. So, the front of this banknote features the Teocalli de la Guerra Sagrada. So this is a depiction of a bird or a nopal or a cactus plant munching on I don't know what you call these. I believe those are snakes. And from what I know, I think this is where the coat of arms is based from or based off. So if there's any Mexicans watching this, can you please tell me if this comes from the if the coat of arms you currently have comes from this. And over here in the back we have a depiction of the city of, oh my gosh, this one's okay, Tenochtitlan. Here in the back. And over here we have like corn plants and an axolotl, and this is in Xochimilco in Mexico City, or Ciudad de Mexico, which is the cultural center for humanity. I believe that's how you read. I believe that's the translation. It says here Patrimonio Cultural de la Humanidad. So I don't know if that's how it is, but yeah. I really love this banknote. And I want to read some, I don't know, I just want to read it. But like there's different languages within these banknotes. So in New Zealand you have Maori. In Canada you have French. And in Mexico you obviously have Spanish. So here in New Zealand it says Reserve Bank of New Zealand. And then below it says Tu te putea matua. Which actually, when I translate it into English, it says General Fund. I believe that's what it's actually translated to. And I love how the back both says New Zealand or Aotearoa in Maori. So, if you don't know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna say that. Aotearoa. Love that. Here in Canada, it's also bilingual, both in information, not just like symbolism, but both in information. So like here it says Bank of Canada, Banque du Canada, these or $10. And over here it says this note is legal tender, ces billets accord légal, émission 2020. Okay, there's no governor sign. Okay, there's a governor note here. So here in Canada, there's like two languages for this note is legal tender, but here in New Zealand it's only English with that. In the back there's an article here saying it's from the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Article 15. So it's both in French and in English, and says here, la loi ne fait exception de personne et s'applique également à tout. Et tu ont droit à la même protection et au même bénéfice de la loi, indépendamment de toute discrimination. So in English it says, every individual is equal before and under the law, and has the right to the equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. And over here in the Mexican banknote, yeah, it's mostly in Spanish, obviously, because it's from Mexico. So there's, I just realized that there's a lot of description here. I believe, like, when I checked Nemista, it only, like, I don't know, there was English information, but it was only a bit. But here it says, Fundación de Tenochtitlan, representando el periodo histórico del México antiguo. Something, the foundation of Tenochtitlan represents the period of ancient Mexico, I think. I can understand both Spanish and French because, like, they're related languages. Oh, cool. I love how they call axolotls ajolote. Ajolote, I mean. Ajolote, not ajolete. Ajolote. So, these are all my award-winning banknotes. And with a bit of a, showing off my language skills right there, mate. I know how to read fucking Spanish and French and Maori. Well, Maori, it's actually quite easy to read, because I speak the language that's related to it, and it's Filipino. Maori and Filipino are related through the Austronesian language branch, if you didn't know about that. But we're going to talk more of these in a separate video. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys learned something new, and I hope that maybe you just skipped the language reading part and just skipped to this part, so it would seem like you actually enjoyed the video. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. I'm quite sick, so I'll see you in the next one.